Twisted terror, terror's cry. Twisted terrors in the body, that funny man of fuse that lie.
You're watching Twisted Terrors. Now your host, Zomboy.
I'm Dr. Francis Gross. I work as a pathologist. And over the past 20 years, I've compiled a library of the many faces of death, death, death.
What is going on, horror fanatics? Zomboy here. You're watching another episode of Twisted Terrors. On this episode, I am going to be talking about the 2026 film, Faces of Death. This movie is directed by Daniel Goldberg. It's rated R. It comes in at an hour and 37 minutes long. IMDb has this one rated as a 5.8 out of 10. Letterboxd has this one rated as a 2.9 out of 5. I'll read the plot. A woman employed as a website content moderator comes across a series of violent videos reproducing death scenes from a film. The tagline for this one is, "You can't unsee it." This movie is starring Barbie Fiera as Margot, the protagonist, Dacre Montgomery as Arthur, the killer. You might know him from Stranger Things. This movie starts off, you meet Margot. She works as a content moderator for a website much like YouTube, where when people upload videos, she has to go through all the content and flag content and remove content and give reasons why. When she starts coming across scenes of people being killed by mannequin setups.
My study for it portrayed a barbaric method of dealing with the criminal. The one redeeming factor of holding a public execution is perhaps it is a deterrent to crime.
And she initially thinks they're fake and ends up letting one go through. Then she comes across another one, but it's uploaded by a different person. She ends up having her manager come look at it, who says it's fake. People love violence. Just push it through.
I thought it wasn't real, but he looks like he's actually dying in this.
Leave it up. DIY horror is trafficking right now. Support the trend. What do we say? Give the people what they want.
Even though Margot is getting a little uncomfortable because she thinks very much these are real people dying. And this movie follows her as she kind of goes down a whirlwind of trying to figure out who's uploading these videos, if these are real people being killed, and where the videos are coming from. And then you get some cat and mouse as the killer starts going after Margot as she is trying to investigate him. I don't want to give too much away about this movie. It is a neat movie. I was really wondering how they were going to do this when I saw they were doing a Faces of Death movie, and I really liked how they came across this one. So from this point going on, this is going to be full of spoilers, so if you haven't seen the movie, this is a good place to hit pause, watch the movie, and come back and pick up from here. So, you find out that Arthur, played by Dacre Montgomery, he is a serial killer who works at a phone company. So what he does is he goes and looks for high status individuals when it comes to content creators online, and he's able to take their name and look in his database to find out where they live, because the cell phone company he works for has all that information. And then what he does is he goes and abducts them and reproduces a death scene from the original Faces of Death, replaces all the people in the video with mannequins except for the main person he kills on screen. The kills in this are very creative, and I remember when I worked at Blockbuster Video back in the day, Faces of Death was a big deal because everyone thought it was real deaths. Now, of course, now we look back at it, we found out most of that footage in those videos were all make-believe and fake, but this movie does a great job on following a serial killer who is obsessed with views and his content creation online, and he knows the algorithm online wants violence. So of course he's creating violent scenes, killing people in the same ways they killed people on Faces of Death. Margot, she works for this company and they have a rule: you can't bring any electronics to work, you can't research any of the videos you see at home, you sign an NDA, you're not supposed to talk about anything. And of course she gets obsessed trying to figure out if these are people dying. And so from home, she uses Reddit. She starts tagging some of the videos on a Reddit forum, asking people to look at them and see if they're real, when right away someone comes back and says the man in one of the videos being killed is an actual missing persons from Florida. And this is where things really begin, where Margot wants to try to figure out who the killer is. And so this movie follows Margot as she's trying to find the killer. And it also starts following the killer as he shows how he selects his victims, how he abducts his victims, and how he sets up his shots for killing the victims. And I really like this aspect of his character. I will say his look is a little plain. He has a plain white mask on with these red contacts when he goes and does his killings and abductions. And it looks a little plain, but his acting is phenomenal. His attention for detail is unbelievable. He'll be going in to abduct someone, and right before he starts doing it, you can see just by his breathing, he's getting excited and that he loves getting this rush. And you can tell just by his body mannerisms alone that he is getting a crazy rush from this. And his acting, man, is it great in this movie, and I love following him. Every scene he's in is fascinating. He is really good at acting, even in the movie, of changing his mannerisms based off of who he's around. At one scene when he abducts Margot, she gets away and brings the police back, and he's able to manipulate the police to take Margot away and not enter his house to see if anyone's dead inside.
Oh, officers. Oh, I am so relieved to see you. Oh, no. What's she doing here? That woman is disturbed. She's obsessed with me. She keeps accusing me of keeping people tied up in my basement.
Just go inside the house!
Please, you step back. I won't ask again.
Just go inside, please!
Officers.
Okay, sir, we don't need your help.
She has had a hard time. Oh, I just want her to get the help she needs. Anyway, I won't be pressing charges. Have a great day, and thanks for coming by.
Sir, that'll be enough.
I really appreciate it.
I love that scene, but the death scenes alone in this are super gory. He ends up killing Margot's roommate when he abducts her, and he has a scene where he melts his body, live streaming it online with acid in a tub, saying this is what happens to nosy roommates. And of course, it's blowing up. And he's getting so excited because now that Margot has gone to the police and she has gone to Reddit, all his videos are blowing up, and the news even starts featuring some of his videos.
Amateur internet sleuths have compiled evidence of what they claim might be real snuff films circulating online.
The animal was now ready to become the main dish.
The videos themselves have spawned countless disturbing and violent imitations, leading to concerns that future copycat videos may become more extreme and potentially even deadly. Spokesperson Pilar Mendez issued this statement.
Kino is committed to the safety and welfare of our community. All content that violates our guidelines is promptly removed from
And he is stoked. He's laughing, he's smiling, he thinks it's the greatest thing in the entire world. There's a scene in this movie where Margot uses her job, which she ends up getting fired because she takes the original videos uploaded and copies them to a drive and takes them home. And she's able to use the metadata in these video files to find out who's uploading them and where they're coming from. And she's using that information online on Reddit. And at the same time, you have Arthur, the killer. He is using her information from Reddit and putting it into his cell phone company. And at the same time she's finding him, the killer is finding her. And I love that scene where they're both kind of, their stories come together, and that's where chaos ensues. You find out he is using fentanyl to subdue his victims. Every time he goes and collects somebody, he has this injector that's almost like an EpiPen that he stabs them with, and then of course they go unconscious, and he's able to take them back to his house in this basement. It's a hidden door behind a false bookshelf. And when Margot gets abducted from him and gets away, when the police, they take her to the hospital where they tell her they found fentanyl in her system and they think she's an addict. So of course they give her Narcan. She took his original computer drive and cell phone from his house when she escaped, and he really wants that back. When she's in the hospital, he texts her saying that he's gonna kill everyone if she doesn't bring his drive back. And of course, what does she do? She catches an Uber from the hospital straight back to his house and tells him that the drive is in a safe place, even though we know it's ruined, because as she was escaping, he was shooting at her with a gun and he actually shot the drive. So she has no evidence. And you get this epic last battle. She goes into the garage and actually finds out he's already killed everybody. They're all dead. And he's got her at gunpoint saying she's going to be the next victim in his movie, and she's going to be immortalized for now on, going down in history in his videos. Makes her inject herself with his fentanyl injector. Little does he know, right before she went into his house, she took a bunch of Narcan that the hospital gave her. So she pretends like she passes out and hits the floor. And when he lets his guard down and gets close to her, she starts stabbing him with this little knife she has. And you get this epic battle between the two. It's super cringy. At one point, of course, he wraps her face up with plastic bags. Oh, for some reason, that always makes me absolute cringe. But of course, she's able to get a hold of a metal pipe. She ends up stabbing him in the chest and then shows him she's actually got a hidden button cam on her chest. She's been recording the entire thing, and as he's laying there, she starts uploading it onto the company she works for, and he's just laughing. And the last scene is him slowly dying a gurgly death as she starts laughing, watching the percentage go up on her upload. When it finally goes up, and it basically goes viral with all these comments with people saying, is this real? Someone should help her. What's going on? This is crazy. And that is the end of the movie. I actually really enjoyed this movie. I never watched any trailers for this, and when I heard they were doing a Faces of Death movie, I was wondering how that was gonna work. It's already been done, a video of a bunch of VHS looking deaths, which I think today just wouldn't work because everything's in 4K, ultra 4K these days, and grainy. You know, it just wouldn't look right if they tried to recreate it. So I loved the fact they didn't just remake Faces of Death or make a sequel to Faces of Death. They actually took the idea of Faces of Death and created a serial killer who is inspired by the movie, and I loved that. And the acting in this is great. Barbie Fiera did a great job as a protagonist in this movie, and let me tell you, Dacre Montgomery, oh my gosh, every time he is on screen, just his mannerisms alone, his acting is so good. Everything. He puts it all out there, 110% in every single scene, and I loved it. The scenes where he's pumping himself up, or he's getting ready for the police at the door and he's slapping himself in the face, and then he changes his entire personality at a flip of a switch. It's such a contrast to when he is the killer in his suit and he's breathing hard and flexing, and he plays such a good killer, and I really enjoyed that. And I like the story here of cat and mouse between two people going at it. And of course, you got people that don't believe her. And, you know, they do that in horror movies all the time. But I think it really worked in this one. I loved seeing how Arthur was able to infiltrate people's lives. In one part of the movie, he abducts a guy. He's a news anchor. And he follows him home because he knows where he lives, and he cuts his hand in his car and gets out, and of course the guy sees he's bleeding and offers him help.
Cut myself.
You need a hand?
You got a new one?
Now, come on, I can get you a bandage.
Invites him into his house to give him a bandage, offers him a beer, they get talking, and it's just amazing how he can insert himself into someone's life to get something he needs to further himself in the plot, and I really enjoyed that. I will say his look in this movie is very plain. He wears black clothing with a pantyhose on his head with like a plain white mask on, and it's a little plain. If you're not just staring at his face and you're watching his body and his mannerisms, it's great. He plays such a good killer in this movie. I really am excited to see what he does in the future. I hope they start putting him in more horror movies. I really liked him in Stranger Things. I thought he was a great addition to that as Billy. He's great in this movie. Some fun facts in this movie. Daniel, the director of this movie, his interest in making a film about media violence didn't just come from a whim. It actually came from a short stint he did working as a content moderator for a social media startup. So the exact job the protagonist had in this movie, he had in real life at one point. And this movie actually wrapped up April 10th of 2023, but the film didn't release until April 2026, which is a pretty long delay for a mid-budget horror movie, if I must say. But despite being a modern digital era horror film, it premiered at Beyond Fest Chicago as a 35mm print. And they did it as a nod to the gritty feel of the original 1978 Faces of Death. And I think that would have been really neat to watch, because this is a very clean movie. It's nice and crisp. So I highly recommend this movie. I really liked it. You know, I saw it when it first came out. I watched it again recently just to recap for this video, and I liked it just as much. So the rewatchability of this movie is high. Now, this is not going to be like a top 10 movie for me, but I will say I'm pretty excited because 2026 so far is a banger year for horror movies. Zomboy says, for me, this is a buy. I would add this to my collection. Now, it's probably not one I would watch every year for like Halloween or something like that, but I would highly recommend checking this one out. If you're really not sure if this one is for you, obviously when it comes out on VOD, maybe it's an idea to check it out before you buy it. And let me know what you thought of this movie. Throw it down in the comments down below. Did you like it? Did you not like it? So this is Zomboy saying thanks for watching another video on Twisted Terrors, and I will see you on the next video. Keep it scary. Bye.